We are talking trivia about episode number 9, Space.
I'm here in Pasadena with the NASA Mission Control Team as they celebrate scientific history. The first close-up photographic transmissions of Mars from the Viking Observer spacecraft.
The Viking program sent Viking 1 and 2 to Mars in 1975. They entered Martian orbit and stayed for about a month taking photographs, then landed in the late summer of 1976 to run a variety of tests and measurements. One of its primary achievements was firm evidence of the ancient existence of water on the surface of Mars.
Even more controversial is one image of a land formation, a formation that looks like a sculpted human face.
No, it's nothing more than a trick of light and shadows, a geologic anomaly.
He's right. The face is a trick of light and shadow. It's found in the Cydonia region of Mars, and when viewed from other angles is mostly unremarkable, but still geologically interesting.
And of course, there are those futurists who believe the space shuttle is a rusty old bucket that should be mothballed. A dinosaur spacecraft built in the 70s by scientists setting their sights on space at an ever-declining scale. Not to mention certain fringe elements who accuse our government itself of space sabotage.
NASA has long been the focus of conspiracy speculation, from hoaxes, secret agendas, and cover-ups. The 1977 film Capricorn 1 depicts the first mission to Mars being faked because of technical difficulties, with its intent to maintain government funding for the Space Administration.
Wow, look at that. Gemini 8.
What?
Oh, the man we're going to see? Colonel Marcus Aurelius Belt nearly died on that mission. Had to make an emergency landing right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
First, Gemini 8. NASA and the astronauts officially pronounced it Gemini. I've never heard a satisfying explanation why, but its mission left Earth on March 16, 1966. Gemini 8 was an orbital docking mission crewed by Neil Armstrong and David Scott. The plan was to have the G8 dock with an unmanned craft Agena while in orbit. During the docking attempt, one of the thrusters was stuck on, causing the craft to roll. A significant amount of fuel was used up trying to keep steady, too much to continue the mission. They chose to abort and made an immediate emergency landing in the Pacific. They would later successfully dock with the Agena during Gemini 10.
I can assure you there isn't a person in this facility that doesn't want to see that shuttle go into space, complete its mission, and come back like Winged Victory herself.
The Goddess of Victory, or Winged Victory, was a monument found on the Aegean island of Samothrace dating from the Middle Hellenistic period. She is missing her arms and head. And she was stolen by the French and placed in the Louvre. The Greek government has demanded that this plundered treasure be repatriated. So Chris Carter hoped that this episode could be made on the cheap. So far, the series is over budget at this point in the season and needed to find some way to save money. So they used a lot of stock footage for this episode. However, they found as they built the mission control set that they quickly ran over budget again, making this episode the most expensive of the first season. So I'd like to again note, Scully's got her sidearm pulled. We're 9 for 9. It's not entirely clear when Belt picks up his possessing extraterrestrial being. His memory of the spacewalk is sort of hard to pin down. It appears that they simply colored Earth red, as no manned space mission has gone anywhere close to Mars, and you can see the cloud-covering atmosphere present. For perspective, the Moon is just about 240,000 miles away from Earth, while Mars is a little over 140 million miles away. You'll notice in the digital archives there is a subdirectory for Star Wars. This was the nickname for the Strategic Defense Initiative, a hypothetical satellite defense system theoretically capable of disabling intercontinental ballistic nuclear weapons. This project was altered slightly and renamed Brilliant Pebbles as proposed by Edward Teller. You may know him as one of the creators of the hydrogen bomb, or you've seen a cinematic portrayal in Oppenheimer, the recent Academy Award winner for Best Motion Picture.
This is from the Challenger. It's the O-ring fitting that failed, dated January 21st, 1986. That's 1 week before the space shuttle blew up. And the analysis was ordered by Colonel Belt.
Are you saying he might have known about the Challenger defect?
Okay, the Challenger. If you are my age or a little older, firmly in Gen X, there's a good chance that you saw the Challenger shuttle explode on live television. In 1984, NASA created a program called the Teacher in Space Project. The idea is that it would inspire young people to seek careers in STEM fields. Krista McAuliffe was selected to be the first teacher in space. This was widely publicized and encouraged to be shown in schools. So, because of a faulty O-ring, 7-year-old me watched the space shuttle explode about a minute after liftoff. As far as I know, there were no space ghosts involved in this. Well, that's it. That's space trivia. Next up is number 10, Fallen Angel.